Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears, because we have to talk about Age of Empires 2, the DLC of Return of Rome, which brings us back the original first part, and it took off not as good as it should have, because here there are a lot of thumbs down on Steam, and it's got 6 out of 10 or 3 stars rating, and they are saying things like I'm not impressed with this DLC, the AI is stupid, it spams and units like crazy, and my own units don't always follow my commands, and I had high hopes for this DLC. And the positive things is quality of life changes, of course, some things that make it easier. The soundtrack was familiar, of sound effects, okay, and that it's faithful to the original one. But negative, a lot of people say none of the original campaigns have been added, and that's what they would like to have. And the balancing, of course, is always something that people stress out. The performance as well. Last time it was a little bit laggy, and the reason is that the performance settings are really eating your power up. And I deactivated nearly everything in graphics. It lacked polish, and some of the units sometimes feel unresponsive, and when attacking, especially auto-attacking, and that's true as well, they are standing around when they are attacked. That's a little bit strange as well. Yeah. Of course, there are some people who like it, and we cannot see how long people have played it, so it's a little bit guessing who was just giving his first impression. And that one says, bought Age of Empires 1 Definite Edition twice, apparently. So he says it's more or less the same than that we got on Age of Empires 1 Definite Edition. So... But nevertheless, we gonna take a look at the game itself, because nothing tells the truth than the actual game. And later on, I think we shall take a look on the real Definite Edition of the first one. So to compare both games to each other, because this is a criticism that people had, that it's very like the Definite Edition of Age of Empires 1 that came out, I think, 1 or 2 years ago. So let's first here go to Return of Rome, and if you are wondering how to get there, here is the switch: Age of Empires 2 and Return of Rome. So of course we check out the single player, because a lot of things can be seen here in the skirmish mode. So custom mode, it's here skirmish mode, sometimes it's custom mode on the others. I take the Romans and play it on a tiny map, and AI difficulty is one thing that I have to point out really hard, because I normally play hard or hardest in Empires 2, but here I have to play standard, which is a shame, and moderate. There's a real hard gap. So we'll start the game just to get a look into it, how it feels. And I can tell you, when you play on this standard, we do not have to worry that I'm talking and so on. This already feels a lot like the standard first one. We don't have a horse, that's the difference to the Age of Empires 2. We have to scout a little bit by our own. And get some guys to go to the bush, and we have to build houses very early because we only have 4 people that we can have in the beginning. And this scouting, but this is typical for the first part, so this would be normal. So we scout here with our player, and as you can see, the look is very, very Age of Empires 1. Here, the Stone Age looks very much the same, and the people look very much the same, and the mechanics are very much the same, more or less. I don't know if you can already see this. We go for berries a lot more in the beginning. This is the typical build-up of Age of Empires 1. So one guy is checking and scouting, and now we take a look what we can do. Now we have enough houses. Alright. And the next thing is, of course, to build a pit. Storage pit. I try to build it somewhere near stone or gold, that I don't have to build so many, but I think it's not possible at the moment. With a storage pit, it's also possible to collect food, but not berries or fish or field. Here, food from animals, of course. That's what it's good for. So we need wood, of course, to build a cannery here. This is something like the farm building that you have in Age of Empires 2. This is a difference. So how some buildings are used is a difference, and it was always the difference. So this is not something that should be to complain, you know. So here the cannery should be built. All the shortcuts work, like you can see here. They are the typical shortcuts. Here would be the windmill, like the W. From the fields, and the storage pit, as you already see, is more or less also the blacksmith. So you don't have a separate blacksmith to upgrade your troops. That's a little bit strange. And of course, another big change that you're maybe not used to is here your town center finally has a ring bell that was not there in the Definite Edition. But as in the first one, it cannot defend itself. So this is a real huge difference that will make your strategy a little bit different. So the reason why they introduced it is more or less was that rushing isn't possible, and now rushing is possible. If you have a player who is very fast on unit production, military unit production, and wants to rush the enemy, he can rush the enemy. And I don't know why they did not include this. This is really something that I do not like. I already said it, but now this means we have to build towers around our town center so that there's no rush possible. So our towers take the responsibility to defend our town center, and that's not the same. It's not the same than really the town center defending itself. Well, I hope the quality is better now, because I have here in the options menu, I have really put everything out. And here as well, that was one complaint we had before seen on the Steam reviews, that one guy said it's eating too much resources, and it is eating too much resources. I could feel it without streaming that it was much more organic, much more fluently working when I put all those resources out. And it's very strange because, you know, when you compare them, it's not adding that much. And I don't know why Age of Empires 2 in the upgraded version works that much better, and here they have these flaws. It's just something that I, in a way, don't understand, but put them out and that's fine. So the other difference, more or less, that we have is here the granary is, again, not only your windmill exchange, it also has research functions like the watchtower and the walls. And that's what we need to have very fast now, because we need at least our towers to defend our hometown. So I can already tell you one thing that is very different to Age of Empires Definite Edition Part 1. It's much faster. It's way much faster from the workflow. It really is. I mean, it's normal, I think, but it's much faster. You are building up much faster and everything produces much faster. Even like the town center, when you build a town center, it's so fast. In a way, it's too fast. I don't know if anyone played it out there already, but in my eyes, it's too fast. Because before, when you were building up a town center, it took quite a time, and it was not like that easy to build up town centers. They cost a lot of money, they don't cost that much money, and you really had to wait your time, which was, of course, time consuming, but good as well. It really felt like building up a town center, and not here like, yeah, okay, another, like a house. So we have to lure the elephant here, and the elephant is very easy to lure. He's always slower than our workers, and he's killed very easily. That's different as well. It took much more time to kill such a big beast before. Now you're really killing an elephant like nothing. That feels a little bit weird. I mean, it's okay, but it just doesn't feel that right. Not of animal cruelty or something like this, just because it doesn't feel like an elephant. It feels like a deer, not more. Alright, now we need more food to get to the next civilization step. Here, like in one, we always have to work with granaries, with berries, so I go and get some berries here, and those guys I use for scouting now. Maybe they will discover something useful. Go to the next Civ stage. Alright. I'll build one, since it could be possible the enemy is attacking, but since we are on a very standard level here playing this, I don't think that they will be attacking at all. Now we have an artifact here, which is something I think like the relic. So we bring it to our town center. We don't have to have a priest, so a monk. They are priests here. We don't have to have a priest. We can just roll it on its own. That was there in the original as well, so I don't know whether you like it. One guy in the stream comments said there are not enough changes to the common workflow of Age of Empires 2, so what people are used to a little bit more. And I think, yes, I can see this. There could have been some more. Now we get the tower upgrade. Bring our guys down. There could have been some more in what you're used to play in Age of Empires 2, because the question is this a brand new game? Completely like the game works, how everything is? No. So it can lean more into the Age of Empires typical stuff, like having something like a castle and so on. You know, in the original Age of Empires 1 we never had castles. That was introduced by the second one, but we have this very nice way of field working. We have to have a market first. Here he is. That's different. We don't have to have the windmill, we have to have the market. And the market also gives us some upgrades. Now we can build our towers, which we will do, of course, especially here around. The enemy is probably here diagonally into the other direction, so we'll build it here. Check out where we have our troops, and all the shortcuts work like they used to in Age of Empires 2. That's what I like a lot, because in Age of Empires 1, the Definite Edition, we had changes that were so stupid, like building a field was F and not A. So you would ask yourself, why on earth have they changed it? There's literally no reason for this. All right. Now we have to have some more fields, and the fields, like we are used to it, they refresh themselves. That's a good thing that they have taken from Age of Empires 2. The chains work here, all the shortcuts work. We research a wall, a cow, and yes. And here in our storage pit, we can research our military things. So that's what we are doing now. I leave the space here for more fields, of course. And we have to have houses. I will build them here. And there's the X-Man and another one. Now we can research it. But as you might see, the basic things feel a lot like Age of Empires 2. You have to get used that the storage pit is working differently. Like this is for stone, for gold, for hunted animals, for example. And you don't have a stone or a gold camp, different. And for food, different, the windmill. And this one, the granary, is for collecting berries, fishes, and fields. So it's a little bit, you have to get used to it. Let's put it like this. And the marketplace is where you have your other upgrades. So it's not in the pit where they should be now. Like here would be a forest, a wood camp, and you would upgrade your wood stuff. Here would be a mine, and you would upgrade your mine stuff. This is a little bit confusing. Where is the upgrade for what now? Now we have built here the archery range, and we can produce bowmen. So we should have more houses probably. I'll build them here now, and well, at least 1 or 2 watchtowers here. If we would play it normally, since we play it on the standard, I don't think that I will really use them. And now we expand. We are Romans, so watchtowers are very, very expensive. No, they are not. They're very cheap. That's why we can expand by using watchtowers very easily. And now I will bring them back. Waypoints work, as you see. Now we just need a stable somewhere. To get a scout, to really scout everything. And since we don't have a scout early on. And then we try to go to next civ, which is 800. Our hunter, they are coming back, and we're already working here. Stone. I think we can build some more houses. Now I'm doing this in the back end, but it doesn't matter. One thing that is really new are the gates. They are as clumsy as we are used to it with Age of Empires 2. So build a wall, then build the gate to get the right direction. That never really works like it should. So just to get you an idea. I'm not quite sure if we had gates. I don't think even in the Definite Edition of Age of Empires 1 we did not have gates. So again, we are expanding our fields, our territory, by using watchtowers. All right. Here, when you click on the watchtower, that's what I like. There's this eagle call. I'm not quite sure if it was there before the eagle call. It reminds me a lot of Assassin's Creed, of course. I don't know if this has any implication that it shall remind you of Assassin's Creed, or if it's just there because it was there before and I can't remember it. So we have a different kind of using buildings in Age of Empires 1, which is basically this download content. And one other thing that is differently is the military buildings. We have one more. This is the academy. In the academy we build our best troops in a way. The hoplites, they are like a little bit like the Teutonic Knights in Age of Empires 2. Very slow infantry units, but very powerful in the end. And maybe you're wondering why I'm building this kind of alley, and this is really something that is differently from the way I would do it in Age of Empires 2. Let's take a look of the enemy town, because I would not do it like this. But I mean, at this level this doesn't matter, but later on it does somehow, because of the enemy AI or fake AI or whatever you may call it. I think they have somehow cheated, like people do when they can't get the AI right. They have somehow cheated into giving it an amount full of resources that is crazy. A crazy amount of resources. Alright, here are enemies. And these are cavalry men. Just take a look at the moment. Face. Because it seems like we... don't know why he is that strong. I was just wondering because maybe it's already the... this moderate version. I don't remember that we put it like this, but we will see soon. Gonna upgrade my guys. Let's take a look. Cavalry is very powerful, so the enemy is always rushing, especially with cavalry units. And since I think the AI is in a way cheating, this is massive, you know, massive. You can't cope with that. He will rush you with I don't know how much. It's not possible to beat it when he's on average. So let's check. Of course, I try to expand again, and always build some military buildings, because the enemy, of course, like that AI is always doing. He goes a lot for walls and towers, like he used to in the HD version of Age of Empires 2, where he was constantly attacking walls out of, you know, even when the town center was around the corner, he would attack one single wall first. Alright, let's check where we are. Alright, okay. And of course, yeah, we need this. And upgrade our guys, and we have to go 1000 of food is missing, and we need a temple maybe for our healer. As you can see, this rush is extremely, I think this is average or something. Or maybe they have worked on their AI already. I don't know. He's at least, because he has clubmen. This is very strange. Why does he have clubmen? So we will have a priest now, and there's another building that is more or less different. It's the governor center that is a research building like the university. So we're gonna build this. And of course we need more food, much more food. Much better towers, so this is an upgrade that is really paying. And here I will come on. Alright, now we bring in the healer. What do we have here? I don't know if we need them here in our town center where they have to go. Another healer maybe, why not? And of course we need some horsemen here. All right. How much does the field cost? Did farm? 75 probably. And the priest can also, of course, like the monk, convert enemy troops. Maybe that hoplite, which is worth more. Yes, it's been converted. We have another priest here. Go back a little bit more. And our builder, maybe another tower would be nice. So let's take a look what we have here. We need more food, of course, but I think we can go a third civ. Sometimes I don't know why they are running here now, like there was one bowman left, so they could have easily gotten for that one, but why not? Bring them back now. They have done enough havoc at the moment. And of course we need a stable here nearby and a siege workshop. So, okay, we have everything. Here they are mostly to make things faster. Now they are running away again, like always. But I need them back, and when they are returning, there's because of the hoplites, they are on such a low pace. The siege workshop here. Oh, he's rushing again with bowman. Alright. Of course, we should think about mines as well. Of course we have the gold mines that are here above in this map. Storage pit, I see. And we have... Alright. We are in need of gold now. But of course we can as well buy gold here. I'm not used to those buildings at all, so we can use sell option, of course, to buy gold. To get our troops here. And what do we need? Maybe another storage pit. They look so much they're looking so much different that I don't recognize them sometimes at the first glance. And of course we need more workers for gold. Alright, now we bring in our stone thrower. That has already destroyed one of his buildings. Now we need to destroy that one as well. More gold is needed. And the healer heals the stone thrower, which is a little bit weird. I don't know why they are following like the villagers all the time and not attacking the enemy bow units or whatever. This is one of those strange things that one of the critics mentioned. How we upgrade our troops. Storage. Alright, let's take a look what we can do for our upgrades. We need a lot of gold to do more upgrades. Alright, hard battle here. Of course, rushing is working, as you see, because the counter units aren't that good, I think. Especially horses and so on. work very good as rush units. For example, for the bowman, I don't know if we have anything that would be really working. Composite bow, they are his special. Special troops in a way. All right. Let's see. I don't know what's with the artifacts. I can't remember, to be honest. Standard, okay. Because I think he's not that good at standard. I mean, I took my time in the beginning, but he's really extraordinary strong at the moment. Right, conquered a lot of territory back. Okay. Very hot match today. Very hot match. Now he's going all in with his bowman again. I don't know why the healer isn't healing. Sometimes the guys have to be very close to where he stands. It's a little bit annoying. Now the healer is leaving, I don't know why, and I don't know why the bowmen are running around like stupid, like going somewhere. Sometimes it's really, yeah, a little bit weird. And they have built the barracks so fast. Now building is so fast and very, very quick. Like even town centers and so on are very, very fast built. This is completely changing some of the mechanics. I think it's too fast. The whole game is too fast-paced in a way. But nevertheless, and I don't know why he is that strong now on this level. That was not the case before. Don't know whether they have already changed something in the AI, or is it just because I started so slowly to show you more? I don't know. I don't want to blame you. Alright, that's not going well for me, but as well counter units, very hard to find. Which are counter units for which kind? I don't have a clue in a way, because some, you know, those in the here the slingers should be for the bowman, but trained swordsman. Where's the counter units for the cavalry and so on? This is not that good. The AI is not that good, and I think if this doesn't turn out to be a good ending for me now, then I will stop it soon, because we have to take a look at everything, I think. A little bit closer. Let's take a look whether the short sword guys are the ones to attack the hoplites. Now we need maybe on normal barracks. And some workers to get more towers. Oh, come on. I don't know why they are running around like this, like somewhere. It's so unplanned, just running around. Yeah, you can see I've run the bell, but they're not attacking. It doesn't help. Okay, I think we can stop this here because that's a thing where I'm not gonna make it. And I resign. Quit current game. Ah, yes. Okay, that was not that very good, but it shows a little bit about the whole stuff that we're talking about, especially the enemy AI, which is, I think, cheating in a way or somehow not balanced, you know. I just take a look at what we had here. Standard, normally standard. I played it today as well. It was very easy. Maybe I was talking too much, but I won't gonna play it again now. It was just to give you a little bit an impression how this whole stuff works. And of course we have in single player campaign, and the campaign here is Romans, Greeks and Sumerians. And I just click here. I played the first Greek campaign. I would there's a map lighting graphically. I don't know. Of course it's like always presenting you this, and take control of Epirus, so the harbor, by reducing his army to 5 soldiers or by destroying his guard towers. Then a lot of hints and a lot of scouting stuff. This is always the case with the new scenarios. I don't like it. It's just like you really have to read it to get all the clues and how to do it. And you know, I spent several minutes of reading that and reminding that this is one thing that I don't like in their campaign design since Age of Empires 2, Forgotten Empires, and I think it was Forgotten Empires, and all the stuff that came afterwards. Yeah, I have to read all that stuff. Come on, guys. That was much better in the original one, where you just went there and did your stuff, and there was maybe something new you had to do and so on. But it was not like this. It was not like, yeah, you really have to. Okay. You really have to read everything, and I don't want to read everything. It's just the thing that I do not want to do. Right? Can he go in somewhere? No. Alright. And we have to go there. Well, we just play it on. I don't think that we will play it through, because I want to show you Age of Empires 1 Definite Edition, to give you an example how that one looked in comparison. And then maybe think about what this is going to be. Epirus. Alright. think we can ungarrison here. Alright. War. Okay. Oh, here's already some enemies. Come on. Alright, let's get off. Let's fight with them, and here we are going there.
The sun has almost risen over the mountains, Your Highness. If we do not land now, we will lose the element of surprise.
Make quick work of these guards. Epirus will be ours again before Neoptolemus knows what hit him.
And we have one guy here to survive. Of course, maybe this is all wrong because I have not read it. So the introduction and the hints and so on, maybe we're doing it all wrong at the moment. I've selected him to a hotkey that we can go back and or use him to attack, because he can renew his health after some time. Alright. Okay. That worked very good. Now we're gonna attack, but I bring him back because he should be saved.
To arms, men! To arms!
Ah, here, his other units are here, so maybe getting the towers is the better option. Destroying them. Okay, come on guys, get there. They wanted to go out, around, I don't know. And here are the enemy units attacking, so everything is fine. We have to reduce them to 5 or less. He has 10. Now he has 9. Now he has 8. Seven. Okay, these are yeah, the one is damaged a lot. Okay, 6, so 5. We should. Oh no. Maybe if I would have read everything, there would be a hint. But, you know, this is not a game for this to read everything. Hours of reading. Yes.
Come to an end, lest Epirus be reduced to rubble. I am willing to share the throne with you, Pyrrhus, for the good of our people.
We have retaken my old kingdom.
And now we
But
have
this is only the
taken
beginning. The time has
over
come to
his.
expand our domain into Macedon.
Dark tidings, Your Highness. It appears that your old friend Demetrius plans to take Macedon for himself. His armies will soon arrive from the east.
All right. and then a time limit. That's how they often do the missions, like with a time limit, and then in the end something's changed and so on. We know the stuff, we don't have to go on with this. I was playing the Macedonians, and so this is Greek, and of course it looks a lot like the Romans. Here those are Macedonians as well, so it already looks a lot like the Romans, so the buildings are more or less, as I can see, the same. So there's not a big change in graphics. So we quit this as well. And the presentation is like always. So we return to the menu, and for me, in conclusion, there are some flaws where you can say the critics are right, because it should be differently. It should be better AI and more believable AI. That is not fun, you know, with the rushing as well. They should have integrated the town bell stuff. That would have been so easy, and I don't know why they did not. It's sometimes very strange why people do things, especially in Age of Empires universe, because when I think about the fourth part, in the fourth part they have done things that are so strange, like the town bell was missing there as well, and here the town bell is missing. So there are a lot of things that are not working good, and we just compare it to get another influence and another criticism. We compare it to the Definite Edition of Age of Empires, the first one. And since some people said that they have now bought the same game twice, we're gonna play this. I have installed it for you, and we take a look whether this looks the same or differently or whatever. So we're here at Age of Empires 1 Definite Edition to compare it to the actual DLC. Forgotten Empires have made this. I think they were doing the Forgotten Empires maps before for Age of Empires 2, and nice is it that they have no introduction movie for this. That we do not watch, of course, now, because we want to go on to compare what it's all about. And alright, this looks nice. It reminds me of the packaging design before, but this doesn't look nice. Options, settings, a little bit strange. Music, I think we have to make it a little bit less loud. Okay, this game up menu is already very basic. They could have done it much more pleasing, or in the style of Age of Empires in a way. It doesn't look good, and this is as well, the writings and so on. I mean, this looks good, and maybe this, but the font and so on, it doesn't look like Age of Empires. It looks like whatever, a shooter game or any other game. But since we want to have a check, we're gonna check two things, of course, like the official campaigns, custom campaigns, official campaigns. We don't play them. It's just to tell you they are there. This the original campaigns, that what a lot of people think they are missing in the DLC now. And we play a custom game, random map, 2 players, and maybe not coastal, maybe just inland or continental, like this. And we just take a look. Moderate is here the thing we choose, and this is how the Definite Edition, the original Definite Edition, looks. And since we checked out the DLC now, and I was really like, wow, the DLC looks so much like Age of Empires used to. This is very strange as well, why they have the stone circle next to the town center, but nevertheless, the random map does maybe sometimes do strange things. but nevertheless, this already feels a lot like it. I think because I want to have a little bit less sound here, because you know, you have to scout around with your guy that we are used to now in the DLC. We don't have a horse because we are in Stone Age. It looks a lot like Age of Empires 1 used to look. We have to have houses very soon because we have a limit of 4. It's here now. That has been done better in the DLC. I think this is a little bit uncommon, like it looks and where it is and so on. Here they have integrated the tech tree and so on, like we know it. That could have been made a little bit better, but the rest is nice. And this is Age of Empires Definite Edition. So one criticism was it looks exactly the same, and it does, of course. The main difference here is more or less that I think I can show you game settings. I've pushed the speed too fast because otherwise it's much too slow. It's so slow. You can't believe it. It's so slow. I've pushed it to the max so we can at least play it normally. Now we need, what do we need? Berries. So this is a very not so good random map. Here are the berries, and for the berries it's the same again. So the basic building and the stuff and how it looks, as you can see, what you have is the same. Dock, storage pit, granary, barracks, house. And how they work is the same. Now we build a granary. Let's build it. Everything is not so perfectly, but then we build it here. And we go on a little bit here, helping the guy building the granary because we need food, of course, to get more workers and to get to the next age. All right, what do we need? A little bit different, like the costs are, depending. I think a little bit different to the DLC, but maybe it's your tribe that you're using. I am playing the Shang. Yeah, I played the Romans before on that one, and then they have an advantage in storage pits. That was different because that advantage was not there in the DLC. But you can see still, although I chose fast, it's much slower than the DLC. Much slower. Alright, come on. We need 40 villager, okay, because of the tribe that we are playing, the civilization, maybe. Alright. And yeah, the gold looks a little bit differently, and the silver, but the main map, you know, the water as well. If we can soon get close to water, I will show you that the water is looking a bit differently. But the criticism about this is more or less Age of Empires Definite Edition updated again a little bit is true. The water is a little bit different. Yeah, that's it. We need, I think, a granary here. 120 of wood. That's something we do not have at the moment. So we need more workers. And yeah, that is something that really counts, I think, you know. I'm not, you know, worrying about or for me, not having the old campaigns, so these campaigns, is not a thing that troubles me. I don't need the original campaigns. I liked some of them when I played them for the first time 20 years ago, but since they are balanced differently and they're working a lot with civilization limits, and I think there was a huge civilization limit. It was not like today you're used to have 250. It was far less. So I'm not, crying over not having this feature anymore. Now I need a storage pit here for... Let's check out if we can build it at a very good place. Maybe there's something nearby. Not really. And the storage pits are big. You're not used to them anymore. They are really big. When you play Age of Empires 2, you're used to those small ones. And of course, that you would have a mining camp here, not a storage pit. And here, a wood camp. But this is all the storage pit now. Granary, can we build it? Not at the moment. We need more of the wood. Yeah, and this is Age of Empires 1 Definite Edition. And it very much looks the same. And feels the same. I mean, the granary looks... Because maybe of the civilization. Because I have played with the Romans, it looked like it looks now with the DLC. So as you might hear, I'm not that glad with the DLC completely. They have taken over that you cannot defend your town center by ringing the bell. You can ring the bell, that's the feature that is missing here at the old one. But that's it. The people go inside and that's it. So it doesn't really bring you a lot, When the enemy is already here, and we all know it, then if there's no way to defend it on itself, it doesn't bring a lot when you just can retreat into the town center and wait for dying. That doesn't help. So I would have liked that they include this feature, not only the bell, but also the defense of the town center. Let's take a look. Granary here. Let's put it somewhere where it's more or less good. Here, maybe. I want to go fishing, I want to get the deer, and I want to be able to put fields around it, so that's why I chose this place. Alright, and we use the houses, of course, as some kind of wall. And of course we have to check if we can build gates at Age of Empires 1 Definite Edition, because this was one of the differences in the new one, where we were able to build gates. Come on. Alright. But I think you can already see that this is slower in pacing. It takes much more time to play, to build up, We would have been at least in Civ 2 now with a new one. So this is, for me, except of, here, this is much more beautiful in a way in the DLC. Here, I think this doesn't really fit like those. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't really fit from the feeling that I want for such a game, for such a period, for an ancient period. It doesn't look like that it fits in that period. They could have done something else, like mosaic style or whatever, that looks a little bit more like ancient Greek or Rome. Alright, that takes too much time here, so I will send them somewhere else maybe. Oh no, okay, they go there now. This is weird. So the storage pit, it says food, but not for the granary. I think that was one thing they changed in the new one. That you need to have the granary for the fish. Ah, okay. And those animals can go to the storage. Okay, whatever. That was one thing that was at least better in the Age of Empires 2, that it's very clear. Like, you know, there's no storage pit anymore. It's either stone mine or gold mine or a wood camp, or it's a windmill and so on. And windmill is food completely, and it's much more clearly defined what the buildings are. And of course, later on, the storage pit will be something like a smith, so military upgrades will work there, which is a little bit weird as well, because military upgrades now are at the blacksmith. And I think this is because some critics have said they should have done a little bit more upgrading to Age of Empires. Tree. No, we don't need the tree now. To Age of Empires 2 standard stuff, and I think, yeah, maybe. So this would have been a nice thing, that they would incorporate those things a little bit better. Storage is now maybe gold, stone, and wood, and not food, and this would be food here, the granary. So this would be a little bit more logically, but okay, why not? I should have planted a storage pit here, so, and I think at the DLC it's differently. Alright, now he said I could upgrade. That's a nice feature to have. Alright, now we need a little bit of stone. I don't like how the map is built. You know, the ruins next to my town center. How can they build such a map? It's a random generated map, but why? And yeah, whatever. So, for everyone to know, this is Age of Empires 1 Definite Edition, and I compare it to the DLC now, which is shockingly very alike to this DLC, because people said that they have bought it twice now, and I can agree. It's shockingly looking very much the same, and it's feeling very much the same, and the only big difference that I see is I have put this on fast, and it's not really fast, so it's not the speed that maybe you're used to play, and not the speed that the DLC has. It's far less fast and far less stressing, of course, as well, but the other thing is you need more time to build up your stuff, and you need more time to play it, and that's what I would have liked to be a little bit differently. So I'm gonna walk around with my clubman to explore the territory, and later on, maybe when we find the enemy and take a look how strong he is, we gonna talk about the conclusion of this all. Alright, now we have moved one civ further, and we are building, of course, the market. We need a market now to buy fields. Here he has a hunter, and he is hunting our deer. That's not a thing that I like, so we're gonna attack the enemy, and I don't know why he even came here for hunting the deer, maybe to do a little bit of havoc, but he will lose it anyway. Alright. what do we have here? We have an archery range. Of course. Ah, here's the enemy. A very strange placement of the enemy as well. Such a huge map. So I can say the random map is much better than in the DLC. Really much better. This is awful. This is really awful how it's done. Alright, we need a bowman. Much too small here. The symbols, I can hardly see them in a way. I mean, I can see them, but you really have to concentrate. And of course here like this, the Q&A, so building a farm normally is changed. You have to press F, which is out of no reason. Why on earth should you press F? Just give me a reason for this. I don't have any reason for this, because in Age of Empires 2 it's, as we all know, Q&A and that's it. But why F? Because of field maybe, but why change it? Why even change it, you know? There's no reason to change it. I don't get the idea of changing it. Alright, now we have to place our watchtower somewhere. And the strange thing is the watchtowers are here. Ah, okay, because this is another difference as we see now. Everything is in one building window, and with Age of Empires DLC, it's like we're used to have it. So it's there's a military window and civilian tools window. Come on, guys. Maybe I can lure him in. This is a strange placement of enemies and so on. Very, very uncommon. Very, very unproductive, counterproductive in a way even. Early game attacks, you know. Okay. We can deal with that, I think. Alright. And now we need a stable, of course. Let's put it somewhere here. And of course more towers. They are 150. We're not the Romans, so it's much more expensive. We need to upgrade our... Come on. Ah, we can't. That's a little bit stupid here as well. It's not grayed out like normally. You just can't buy it. Why didn't they do it like every other Age of Empires does it? Grayed out. I don't know. So there are advantages, as we see, of the DLC. Some advantages that they have not integrated into the Definite Edition of Age of Empires 1, which is already very strange. Because they are so typically, and they should have been there beforehand. Without a thought, you know. It simply should have been there from the beginning. Alright, now they are standing around. And again, the topic with pressing F to build a field. And I think you cannot change it as far as I know. And there's no menu to change it. And this is really annoying as hell. Why can't you change it? Okay, much too close. Of course, hear this stuff. I don't know why. But nevertheless, we will try to beat him finally. Okay, again with the F stuff here, which is... Okay, we'll take those guys here. And that one here. And hopefully we'll make it so that we at least can finish this Age of Empires 1 Definite Edition in a good way. F, press F, okay. And again, here. F, right. Okay. And those two guys I will send to get wood for their own. What does he do here? Alright, this is not going to be very good. at the moment. But again, the same problem. Where are the counter units for the horsemen, for the cavalry? I mean, if he's rushing, and now here we don't have a bell, but, well, as I said, it doesn't really bring us much if you don't have a town defense like we used to. So, but that's it. I think we got not gonna keep on going this stuff. Terrible matchmaking, random map here with this placement, the other placements, with the enemy placement, so completely crazy. So we have to quit this, yes. And a terrible screen. This is really awful. Come on, this is awful. Close. This is really awful. This does not look like ancient whatever. This as well. But it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna do the exit now of the Age of Empires Definite Edition, and we are once more returning to our DLC to maybe summarize it, or anyone has something that should be seen, should be looked at, then we take a look at it. All right, we are back again soon, and we are here. Yes, we are back. So, multiplayer, I have not tried. I did not hear the best of it. We have tried everything here. Campaigns and single player skirmish. I just choose Dark Forest, Clearing, Highland. Alright, we just, for the conclusion, try this one. AI difficulty I set to standard now. And try to be a little bit faster and not talk that much, and then we're gonna summarize it. Maybe. So, just to keep comparing it to the one we have played at the moment. So the first point that I already see is that the matchmaking, the basic random making of the map is much better. So you may already see the berries here are close by, the wood is close by, so you can already start, especially since you do not have a scout and so on. You can already start with everything like you're used to and get on with it faster. The basic speed is much better because, well, building up, we're used to it, so it doesn't have to be that long. Alright. And the graphics are more common to Age of Empires 2, I think. The people, how they are looking, and the workers, I think it's fine. So this is where I think they have done more or less a good job in updating it. I like as well here the option that you can ring the bell. Still, I would have loved to integrate the defense possibility of your town center. That is dearly missed. So really dearly missed. And here we have the granary for our berries here. I think we can place it here to build fields around it when we have harvested the stone. And now let's get there. I'm doing a circle around, and here's an elephant doing the circulation to discover a little bit more of the land that we are in, and then I go back with the one. And now we need, of course, wood to build a storage pit. So let's take a look at it. Looks very nice. So the graphics, updated graphics, look very nice. The feeling is good. I like this much more from even from the way it looks here, as we have seen before in the Definite Edition of the first one. That looks much more like it should. Just from the look of it, you know, not like that it's better to be read. Only the look of it is much better. And this one, I like it much better. It's not so prominent and so on. It doesn't look so modern. I don't want a modern look in Age of Empires about ancient civilizations. I don't want it. Alright, so we can go there and have to cut some trees. And of course send someone here, because that's gonna be fast and they have to go there anyway. So that one has discovered more territory. Alright. And let's check what we can do best next. I think we will build barracks to have at least someone to defend us, and maybe not to waste too much food. Alright, here are the elephants. And as we can see, and when it's like always here, the matchmaking, the map building, the enemy should be somewhere here in this case. And that's of course better than we had in the Definite Edition of 1, where it was here next to us, like here sitting here. That was at least strange. And to be honest, I don't know whether we have now to build storage pits or granary to harvest animals. I go here for the gold, so we will see. I have to build one anyway there. Let's do it like this, and maybe even close to the forest, so that we can harvest this and the deer and the elephants. Alright. A huge difference is the elephants are much less strong than in Definite Edition, or in the original one. We are always much faster than them, so to lure them nearby, don't have to harvest gold. I need food. You just have to be in their sight line, then you can bring them here, and as you see, it's much easier than boar. We only have 7 and attacked with 5, so that would have never really worked out with boar. He would be much too fast and would have killed at least one of our guys, I think. So this is easier, and as well this makes it much quicker. Here we have the points, like always, on the right corner, and we now have a limit reached. I just put it like this, not to think a lot about it. And of course we can try to look if we can reach the 500 soon enough. If we put this off, I think we can, so I leave this off to go Civ to now. So we will try to beat him once more, and yes, recap everything up to now. So let's take a look here. Military buildings. That's like in the normal Age of Empires 2 structure, and I like it more. I like it more that, you know, that there are not those fields around with nothing inside of them. And of course I like more that I see that they're grayed out. I can't build them. such simple things, you know. And they should have been standard in the Definite Edition as well. Such simple things. So, alright. Now, take a look. Tool. That looks better as well. So, these are the optimizations that I really like. Now we go for stone. Take 3 guys, and take 3 guys. We go for gold. And of course, we need a market to get fields. First thing to do. And then it's a little bit different. It's 800 in 2 buildings. And then the gap is really hard. It's like, I think in Age of Empires 2 it's 800 and 200 gold, something like this. But then the gap is really huge. So, let's take a look. We need, of course, archery. And do we have a granary? Yes, we need... Oh, we have already upgraded 2 towers, so that's where we should use them. Alright, here is the deer, so we get the deer. Use the houses as walls again. And of course supply our villagers. Get some bowmen. And of course build up more towers to defend our home base if he would attack us, because it's not possible that the home base defends us as strongly, and not at all, but not as strongly as well as in the first one and in the second one. So this is a huge minus. Come on, here. Let's take a look. We can later on next civ we can upgrade this one, and again these are grayed out when you cannot buy them, because I do not have enough food. That's what I like much more with this version than with the Definite Edition, where you don't, you just always have to take a look. Can I buy it? No. And it's not simply grayed out like it's normal, you know. I don't know why they do not incorporate this at the first place, why we have to wait for this, and why they did not just do it on their own. In the Definite Edition, because it's a Definite Edition, it should be included. That's standard. It's like, you know, the fields here, the fields refreshing themselves. This is standard now. There's no reason to not include it, or to do it like in the original Age of Empires 2, where you could go to the mill, in that case, in the windmill, and set a reset, click on the fields, on how many fields you want to reseed. Now it's done automatically, and I think this is the common way, and it's better. It just puts away a lot of this micromanagement stuff that you would have otherwise. Alright, now we are oh, here is Clubman scouting. Alright, and now I think at least we should go on further and place some watchtowers here. And of course expand everything. Here they could hunt the elephant. You know, this would have never worked with the boar. Like, just go for it and kill him. So this is differently. And it's differently, of course, in pacing. You have to be much faster then. Because the other players could be. And the enemy, the AI, is in any case, because he is, I fear, cheating somehow. At least in moderate, he's cheating, because I have read it with other players. I mean, who's gonna play this? A lot of people who have played Age of Empires 2, a lot of people who know how to play it, who are used to it and so on. So you can't tell me it's just because it's differently and so on. I think there is something going on with the AI, simply. That it's not fair in a way. You know, that would have never been possible with a boar, what I'm doing here now. Okay, that's the elephant. Now we need houses. So, and I like the advantage, but what I like, of course, is the possibility to have gates. We didn't check at the Definite Edition if they were there already, but it's a huge plus. And we're gonna go for next civ. And you see how fast it is. Just remind yourself of the Definite Edition, how long it took. So basically, it looks a lot like the Definite Edition, and that's something to discuss, but you know, what could they have changed? I don't know. Then it's a new game. So for me, this is okay. Maybe not for everyone, but for me, this is okay. I don't need it differently. So what do we need? Yeah, we have the granary here, which is very, very good. All right. Get more people. And of course here build some supply. Here he has been, as we see. Alright, now we build a storage pit. And then hopefully go for the elephant as well, to get more food. Alright. Bronze Age, we are at the Bronze Age, so we are both on the same. So I played this before this stage, and I think it was much easier. Maybe they have already changed something with the KI, AI. In German it's Künstliche Intelligenz, so that's why I said KI. But I think basically that they are messing around with the AI a lot. It's not very good. And I think there are a lot of things that are helping the AI. Alright, they are there. The hunter. Why are they running around like this? I don't know. Stable. Get more supply. Alright. I like the eagle cry. Reminds me of Assassin's Creed. And maybe we'll build another storage pit here. So the storage pit brings in the animals. That is, I think, different to the Definite Edition. Alright, now it's already getting very hectical, very fast. As the whole game is much faster in a way as the Definite Edition, and I think even as the normal Definite Edition of Empires 2. So we need more troops. Of course, more houses. Okay, why don't they bring it here to the storage pit? Okay, because I had double clicked. Alright. Alright. Now we have to extend further on with the towers. That is the primary strategy that I use, and I think that's the one that's working best. Always expand with the towers. All right. Now what do we need here? 1,000 of food and 800 of gold, so this can be done in a short period. Oh, they have already run away to somewhere. Okay, we need the archery range. And since there is no defensive town, it's much easier to walk in now. I mean, it's both directions, so you can simply here take his town center. And here's another town center. Very strange build up. Okay. Now we go Civ. Ah, 2 Bronze Age buildings. Okay. I need it, so I think I built a temple somewhere. They're running around, of course, somewhere. He hasn't any defensive towers, so he's more or less defenseless here. And I think towers are the only structures that you have. You don't have a castle. Now he retreats into his town center, but so what? So what? He's just imprisoned in there, in a way, in his town center. I really hate that they do not include the defensive town center. The bell is okay. This should have been there all the time, but it doesn't bring us anything, I think. All right. So we need Another, we take the academy. We need the academy, of course. Alright, finally, since I played it faster and was a little bit more aware that the enemy was maybe better, I think we can say this worked out and we will defeat him soon. Alright, here is an archery range that we need to destroy. Here's a town center that we need to destroy. We have our hoplites, which are basically very strong units, and we have a government center palace to build, and I think now we can approach. Yes, we can. We need a lot of wood more. And I'm victorious. Finally! Finally. Leaf map. Military, very good. Economy. Technology. And total score. So can we see something? Units killed, units lost, and so on. Food. Sargon, he has collected a lot more wood. It's crazy amount. Stone collected. He hasn't collected any stone. And not enough gold. A little bit very close to each other, let's say it like this. And research count villager as well. We return to the main menu, and to summarize it up, that was very close, and we look, it was the standard. And moderate is really something you cannot win, because the enemy will rush you with an enormous amount of troops. I think now to summarize it up, and let's just take a look at what other people said again on the Steam. On the Steam window. Here we just take a look in a second. Yeah, it's here. We had it open already. 1 second. It's here. We have not so good rating. I just loaded again. Maybe something has changed. It has a not so good rating. Original campaigns not included. That's what a lot of people talk about. I mean, they have included them in the definite edition, so maybe it would have worked out. You would have to work on them, because the way they are structured with a lot of limits and so on, and another tempo that is used, you know, when you think about building up and so on, they would have to have worked a lot on them to balance them right. So this may be one reason why they chose not to do it. It should be free for owners of the definite edition. Say, okay, I can get that point. Yes. Okay, this is something that I think that is true, because the definite edition of the first one was a minor disappointment. It was not a big disappointment. It already looked better and so on, but a lot of things were not the way they should have been. We have played it before, so you can take a look at it. It's much better now. It's really like it should have been, with a lot of flaws, but it should be free for everyone who has the Definite Edition 1. That's the point that I gonna say, yeah, this is true. This is true. Really bad, not even one campaign for H2. Okay. I had hopes, don't get me wrong. It was sold as a standalone game in Vacuum. This would have been a good game. I don't know. It has a lot of bugs. And Age of Empires 1 Definite Edition, which was objectively a mediocre game with to no new content aside from the updated graphics, with dreadful pathfinding, no support, and so on. I don't read everything. Einfach nur hingerotzt und schlecht, schade ums Geld, so just a waste of money in a way. Huge letdown, played a few hours of the campaign at moderate, and did some at hard. Didn't finish these ones. Not as fun as the Neo DLC that we had in the last years. I had a hope that they added all campaign and not just 3. Yeah, okay, again. Playability feel clunky. Pathing is more broken. Pathing is a problem. AI is buggy, as in the Definite Edition, maybe. Such as you have a big unit squad and tell the attack to move half of your units will get stuck behind building. Okay, that's true. The pathfinding is not very good. It feels soulless as with the other DLC. To me feels like they imported all the worst bits of Age of Empires 1 and ignored the improvements of the Age of Empires 2. And that's not completely true, but I understand a lot of this because a lot of things are missed in this. Now it crashes every time I try to play. Okay, the settings or the hunger of the game is too much. I deselected every graphics except for blood, so this is not very well done. I bought it twice apparently. Yeah. Some of the thumbs ups are even. I hope. Here it's not positive in a way. I hope it would be more gameplay as in Age of Empires 2 and unique troops, unique troops of every civ. So these are other complaints that people have. Loving it, of course, people are liking it. I would have liked to see how long they played. And what do we have here? I don't know what everyone is talking about. I like it. And all the improvements of the second one are there. And for me, this is not true. Very good. Now bring Star Wars Galactic Battleground to the Definite Edition at the Clone Army. All right. Okay, I don't know if you know Star Wars Galactic Battleground. This was Age of Empires 2 expansion and then set in the Star Wars universe, but graphics were much worse than in the original Age of Empires 2 that time, and even the version we have on Steam now is it's like before. It doesn't look very well. It never looked, and at the time it came out it was already dated a lot because it already looked worse than Age of Empires 2. But I can understand people have feeling not nostalgic feelings for that because it brought a working strategy game to the Star Wars universe that was somehow unique. I recommend it to anyone who can read the description, okay? but they didn't promise and aren't and have not offered all the old campaigns and automated matchmaking. Yes, so I bought it 4 times, the CD version and Rise of Rome, the Windows Store, the Steam, and Return of Rome. This is better than Age of Empires 1 Definite Edition, and that's what I can fully agree with, but it's like getting to eat out after being beat in a CD alleyway for 30 minutes for people like me. Alright. Okay, these are some of the newer statements, and it's 6 out of 10, 3 out of 5 stars, and I can agree. So I think everyone who wants to buy it, who is a huge fan of the first one and doesn't miss the campaigns of the first one, and I can tell you, I have the Definite Edition, played some of the campaigns. They are stressful because of all the limitations. Really, it's not, you know, the good old days. You don't want to play them, believe me. And so I can say I don't miss them. And here with the new one, I like it that it's better than the Definite Edition, but I would have liked the Definite Edition to be at least like this. So I get the argument that somebody says I'm paying twice or 3 times even for the same game. And this is what is to discuss. Maybe they can bug fix things, because to summarize, what should be bug fixed is the defense of the town center should be there. You have introduced the bell, great stuff, you know, why don't go the full way? I don't understand it. Maybe the scouting feature, the compass should be introduced to the horses, at least to the scout. I don't even know why in Age of Empires 2 it's not there with every scout horse you build. It could be integrated. It's not there. It's only in the first scout you have. All right. It should be there with everyone, you know. It's just scouting the map. And I do not like as well the AI, and this is a big point. This is a huge point, because the AI, I think the AI is cheating. Believe me, it is cheating. It's completely nuts. It's completely nuts what it does. It's completely nuts. They rush you with, here, maybe this is true, you know, they rush you with hundreds of elephants and on average, on moderate. They rush you with everything. I mean, this is out of a campaign, but this is true, you know, or with the chariots and so on. They rush you. And this is not possible for a normal player to play like this. And the third point for me is the counter units. This is not as good balanced, as well balanced as in Age of Empires 2. Where are the counter units? Maybe you would have had to introduce some more, you know, pikemen or spearmen for the cavalry or whatever. There would have been a lot of things, you know, you could have done to improve the balancing much better. So, because in the end you have to ask yourself, do you play it? Will you play it further on by side if you have played it once, you know, and have looked at it and think, okay, this is nice, this reminds me of all the good times that have been there? I don't know. I don't know if you will go on playing this. Because I'm honest, I will try it again a little bit, but if the AI stays like this, I will not continue playing, because skirmish play, like they call it now, custom play, is impossible to win at the moderate stage. So you're gonna play with standard, and there I think he already is cheating. It's not well done, the AI. And of course, a lot of minor things like pathfinding, like your units don't attack, even if the enemy is very nearby, and so on. So these are a lot of things that I don't really like. I don't basically like the new campaigns of a lot of Age of Empires content, because they are, as I showed you a lot with, you have to read the whole stuff over and over and then do exactly what they say in the hints. It's something that I do not like. I don't want to go for reading the stuff and then go for the hints and just playing like it should be played. I wanted more freedom. I want to be a little bit, not like go this point and you do this and then go there, like a normal play, and then just with a little bit more scripted things. It can be a timer, but the timer already starts so early in the first or in the second. All the second campaigns that I played here in Return of Rome were already working with a timer that you have to defend or to attack in a time and so on. It could have been done much better, I think. I don't want to read all these texts, and to be honest, I've played like Flood campaign and Mongols and so on. So all the extra campaigns they added later on for Age of Empires 2 Definite Edition, and you have to read the text to really know what to do and not to be lost there, and they take a long time. That was much better in the original campaigns for Age of Empires 2, like William Wallace, of course, which was more or less a tutorial campaign, but the others as well. They were much friendlier to play and not, to study. I don't want to study, I want to play. So this is different. So what I'm going to ask myself is, do you play it? Will you go on and play it? Because if you do not play the campaign, the skirmish mode, the custom mode is not really working. The AI is godlike. It's not working. So will there be enough people you can play it with, and will the changes that it have be as good, or the changes they did not make as bad, that you will play it further on? Because, as I told you, rushes are possible, and even rushes with one unit, it's completely possible. You can rush an enemy with one unit, and you can dump the player. So I would agree with a lot of people who say, maybe not thumbs down completely, because it's an improvement, but it's what Definite Edition 1 is, just with some new campaigns, just a little bit freshed up with the look, which is nicer, the menu stuff and so on. That's much better. But I would have liked it to be even better, more in a way like the second one, having more defensive building of the town, having a better AI and so on. All the points I mentioned, they will make me not want to play it again. Like in the Definite Edition of the first one, I kept not playing on. The skirmish mode was not good, and the missions were so hard. It's not going to be work. And to be honest, I bought it for a bundle price with the product, with the Definite Edition that I already had, so it was not that expensive. But still, if you want to pay $15 for this, think about it. Take a look at it wherever you can and really think about it. Is this what you're going to play? Do you especially want to play the campaigns? Because I think this is key. If you don't want to play the campaigns, forget it. The balancing of the AI is not good. So I hope you had fun. I hope this gave you a little bit of insight. I think I will look at it later on at the end of the week, the weekend, and not doing a live stream maybe anymore, just do a small recap for you to give you all the details and informations in a very short time. And yes, maybe we see each other there. Leave a comment, leave a like, and follow the channel if you like. It helps me a lot. So Thanks a lot for watching, and goodbye.